There is a point beneath your tongue where ancient emotions keep asking to be set free. You have never touched that place, yet it has ruled your voice since the very first imposed silence. What lies there is not only what was silenced, it is what was ancestrally forbidden. Your body has learned to hold entire truths in that small, invisible space. It is not your mind that censors, nor your throat that fails. It is the vibrational root of your existence that remains trapped. Until that seal is broken, your voice will keep being just a reflection, not a source. You do not simply swallow words. You swallow lives, scenes, premonitions, and these memories strain a point no one suspects, but one that limits you every time you try to be authentic. What you are experiencing is not shyness. It is an ancestral myofascial field, vibrating beneath the tongue like an ancient sentence. What you are about to access here is not an exercise. It is an advanced hidden ritual, a forgotten release code that touches the root of your voice. And once it is activated, the sound that emerges will not be yours. It will be the vibrational memory of everything your body was never allowed to say. There is a vibrational containment field below your tongue. It is not symbolic, it is not psychological, it is physical, and it is ancestral. A point where the body learned to compress what could not be spoken. Inherited memories, aborted words the moment they arose, feelings condemned to silence. This point is what keeps your voice disconnected from the truth. It is as if the original frequency of your expression had been sealed there, compressed into a forgotten myofascial fold, pulsing invisibly. And as long as you try to express yourself without touching that place, everything will sound incomplete. This video reveals how to access that hidden seal, not with concepts, but with an advanced ritual, a release code that was never meant for the stage. It was meant for liberation. You will feel it, not in the intellect, in the field, in the vibration that moves when you come into contact with the part of your body where your soul was muted. This is not a video about voice. It is a video about reclaiming the right to vibrate who you truly are. And by the end, you will not just understand, you will go through it. Because the truth that is trapped beneath your tongue is already vibrating to be heard. In the silent schools of ancient Egypt, before voice was taught as speech, it was trained as vibration. The tongue was not a tool for communication, it was a conductor of power. The base of the mouth was seen as a vibrational gateway between what is felt and what is manifested. There, beneath the tongue, priests trained the body to hold truth, not through words, but through frequency. Thoth, the Lord of Wisdom, said that sound is the first materialization of the invisible, and that every distortion in the voice is born from a fracture between body and truth. That is why initiates began their journey not through the throat, but through the vibrational floor of the mouth. In that subtle space, they activated myofascial purification rituals, dissolving layers of ancestral pain stored in the field of speech. They knew that a misaligned voice creates a fragmented reality, and that only when the body vibrates in coherence, the word becomes creation. That point of power was forgotten, buried beneath 1,000 vocal theories that cut off its spiritual root. But the map is still in the body. And what we are about to do is rediscover that map and touch the forgotten password of your true expression. There is a point beneath your tongue that science rarely mentions, yet your nervous system knows it well. The musculature of the floor of the mouth, where muscles like the mylohyoid and gynoid are active, is directly connected to the vagus nerve, the core of the polyvagal theory developed by Dr. Stephen Progeas. According to him, when the body enters a state of threat, one of the first defense responses is the inhibition of the voice, part of what is known as the freeze state. This response is encoded in deep neurosensory circuits, where the impulse to express is blocked even before it reaches the throat. Neuroscientist Dr. Ruth Lannis from Western University shows how experiences of emotional silencing activate patterns of chronic somatic disconnection. Epigeneticist Rachel Yehuda from Mount Sinai demonstrated that emotional trauma can be biologically inherited, changing how the body handles expression and suppression. In the somatic myofascial release approach, researchers like Dr. Robert Schleip explain that fascial tissue reacts to the memory of trauma, and that conscious touch can dissolve chronic tension patterns. This sublingual region, when activated with presence, not only releases the fascia, it reprograms the relationship between safety and voice. This is where tradition and science meet. A vibrational point that, when touched, informs the system that it is safe to express again. It is a silent reconfiguration, but the entire body responds as if it had been freed. Before any release, it is necessary to locate the exact spot where containment settled. We are not talking about emotion, but about the space where the emotion was stored when it could not be expressed. This space is called the floor of the mouth, a set of muscles and fascia that support the base of your tongue. It is there, between the mylohyoid and geniohyoid, that the body silently stores the reflex of retraction. Every time you swallowed a response, hesitated to say what you felt, or gave in to the fear of rejection, this point registered it, not as a mental memory, but as vibrational tension sustained over time. Polyvagal theory explains, when it detects danger, the body activates the freeze state and shuts off the voice. This shutdown is neurological, but also the fascia tightens, the muscles sink, and the vibration of the voice is diverted before it is born. This is the somatic seal of silence. The first key is recognition. Lie down comfortably, close your eyes, and bring your attention to the inside of your mouth, not the surface, but the foundation. What holds it up? Take a deep breath. Notice if there is any density, discomfort, tension, or even a strange absence of sensation. All of that is code. The body does not respond with logic. It responds with frozen vibrational layers, waiting to be heard. Now gently bring both thumbs to the underside of your chin and slide inward, touching the inner base of the jaw. There is no need for pressure. The point does not open with force, but with presence. Keep your fingers there and breathe very slowly, as if the air were cleansing forgotten memories. You may feel warmth, tingling, or inexplicable sadness. That is the field opening. The containment, once automatic, begins to dissolve vibrationally. You are accessing a myofascial portal that has long operated in the dark. And just the act of entering with awareness begins to reconfigure your relationship with your own voice. Now that the body has recognized the point of retention, it is time to open the channel. This process does not require effort, but deep listening to the internal gesture. With your thumbs still resting at the base of the chin, allow the mouth to stay slightly open, releasing any tension in the jaw. Imagine there is a vibrational chamber beneath your tongue, a dome that holds ancestral echoes. Bring the tongue upward, gently pressing the roof of the mouth, then release. Repeat this 3 times, slowly. This movement activates the neuromuscular circuit of the hyoid bone, a floating structure that connects the base of the tongue to the throat and to the cervical spine. Next, bring sound into the center of the practice. But not just any sound, the vibrational sound of release, the nasal ng sound, like at the end of the word sing. With your mouth slightly open, gently make this soft sound while lightly pressing your thumbs inward, feeling the vibration resonate beneath your tongue. This vibration activates the vagus nerve, dissolving the freeze response. You may feel a light tremor, warmth in your face, or a sudden urge to sigh. Let it happen. The body is decoding the seal. Keep your breath circular. Short inhales through the nose, long exhales through the mouth, with the NG sound guiding the vibrational wave. This is the moment where practice becomes ritual. You are not simply doing an exercise. You are opening a field where unspoken words finally find a way through. Continue for a few minutes. Your body will know when it is enough. At the end, bring one hand to the center of your chest and simply observe. The new vibration may be subtle, but it feels like a bridge being restored between the heart and the voice. You have reactivated an internal portal, and this portal does more than release tension. It gives you back the right to exist through your frequency. After the ritual, the body enters a state of silent reconfiguration, as if old defense wires were being unplugged and the voice could finally emerge from the right place. But this is where many go wrong, returning to daily life without integrating the new vibration. The third stage is not about doing it, is about anchoring the experience in the conscious body. Gently touch the base of your throat and quietly say, "I vibrate the truth that once silenced me." Feel where that sentence resonates. Do not force it. Just notice if the throat tightens, if the chest opens, if the jaw relaxes. These are somatic maps of your recovered expression. You can walk around the house, vocalizing the NG sound between breaths, feeling the vibration move through your jaw, tongue, throat, and chest. This practice is not a performance, it is a reinitiation. What you are doing is rebuilding the link between emotion and word, between sensation and sound. Throughout the day, notice how you speak. Is your voice coming from the throat or from your entire body? Do you pause before saying what you feel? Observe without judgment. Each microtension is a trace of the old pattern. And when you notice it, touch the point beneath your tongue with presence. Not to repeat the ritual, but to remind the body that truth is now allowed to vibrate. This is the restored field. The fascia that once held you back now transmits. The point that silenced now emits. Not as external sound, but as the vibrational signature of your liberated identity. Leora spoke softly, but not out of shyness. It was as if her voice had an invisible ceiling she could not break through. She worked with listening, a body therapist, and received the pain of others with compassion. But when she tried to put her own truth into words, something got stuck along the way. Her sentences came out broken. Her body would stiffen. The sound seemed to have no substance. She never thought of it as trauma, until, during a training in advanced somatic practices, she was guided to touch the base of her tongue. A simple gesture, 2 fingers beneath the jaw, an ancestral sound voiced with the mouth slightly open. At the first vibration, nothing happened. At the second, the trembling came. At the third, tears, not from sadness, but from release. It was not just her voice that had been trapped. It was all the times she had to stay silent to avoid punishment. It was the words she swallowed as a teenager to protect her mother. It was the "I love yous" that were suffocated and never found a body. That vibration, in that forgotten point, had touched something that years of speaking had never reached. Days later, in a sharing circle, Leora spoke, not very loudly, not with eloquence, but there was a new vibration, steady, warm, whole, and everyone in the room felt it in their bodies. This was not just a woman speaking. It was an ancient frequency returning to take up space. Not everyone cries like Leora. Many touch the right spot, make the sound, breathe as they were taught, and feel nothing. No trembling, no release, just a dull emptiness or a subtle resistance that whispers, "This isn't for me." This is the most common and most invisible obstacle, the expectation of immediate release. The mind wants intensity, the body wants safety, and when the body still does not feel safe, it does not open. This is the second layer, containment, the one that does not show up as tension, but as absence, as muted silence, as not feeling. But that very lack of feeling is already a symptom of retention. Transmutation begins when you stop demanding that the body respond and start listening to it as it is. Return to the practice with less urgency and more reverence. Approach the touch as you would approach an altar, not to provoke a miracle, but to sustain presence. Even if you do not feel anything, you are opening a crack in the ice. And sometimes, all it takes is a repeated, conscious touch for the body to decide. Now it is safe to melt. That is the key. Vibrational consistency without pressure. The body does not open by force. It opens when it senses that it no longer needs to defend itself. You did not come this far to learn about a muscle. You came to remember that there is a code hidden inside your own mouth, waiting to be decoded with presence. The root of your voice was never in your throat. It lives deeper, where sound has not yet become words, but already carries truth. That is where swallowed emotions, inherited silences, and suppressed desires have condensed into tension. Not because you chose to stay silent, but because your body understood that speaking was not safe. And since then, your expression has learned to survive without ever being complete. But the body does not forget. It waits. It waits for the moment when you finally stop fighting with your own voice and begin to touch its origin with reverence. That moment is now. The ritual you experienced here is not a technique, it is an ancestral gesture of return. Returning to the body, its right to vibrate truth without fear. Returning to your tongue, the sound it held back to protect your story. There is no need to force anything. Just touch, breathe, and listen. As Khalil Gibran once said, the soul has its own way of expressing itself, even when the lips remain silent. But today, silence is no longer a shelter. It is a field that is dissolving. And what rises in its place is your authentic frequency, alive, unmasked. From here on, speaking is not just about communication. It is about taking up energetic space with the fullness of your being. It is about sounding with memory, moving with story, voicing with awareness. The crossing has been made. The portal has been reopened, and you no longer need to return to the old tone. Because now, your voice vibrates from a place where fear no longer rules. If this ritual resonated with you, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. This helps the content reach others who also need to unfreeze what was never spoken now. I invite you to write in the comments, with presence and intention, I release the sublingual containment of my sacred body. Every word written here is a gesture of release, and your body knows it. Share this video with someone who needs to reclaim their forgotten voice. And do not stop here. Click on the screen and dive into another transformative video from the channel. Remember, when the voice returns to the body, the soul begins to breathe again.